All right, we're going to go ahead and start so that we can stay on time, which is probably a joke, but welcome to the 2023 Annual Awards Celebration. My name is Piper Mahegan. I am the incoming Director of Membership Recruitment. So if you aren't a member, you're probably going to hear from me soon. We're very excited to hear from our 5 finalists. Our program is going to begin at 7. And the Impact100 members in the audience, take a moment now to look for your email that you would have received for your voting. If you don't see it, it came earlier today at like 3:06, 3:08 p.m. If for some reason you don't find it, go back to the table back there, what's the word, Kathy? They're back there waving. The IT table, they will help you find your thing, and be sure you do that before the program starts, because that's how you're going to vote this evening. And I want all of you to also remember that this is not a competition. We all get very excited, but there are no losers here tonight. Everybody is going home a winner, so keep that in mind. Because these people, they've worked so hard, and they're such amazing organizations. And at your seat, you're also going to find the annual award celebration program. In that, you're going to find things that you can scan that link you to our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our YouTube channel, which, yes, YouTube is still really hot. We're not going TikTok yet. It's coming. You can find all of that there, and that is the best way, if you like and follow those pages, to keep up with all the things that Impact100 is doing, which is what you want to do. Last thing I'm going to say is that if you are sitting with some people at your table tonight that are not members, you've got like 45 minutes to recruit them. So this is your best sales opportunity, because this is when you're going to show all the amazing work that we do here. So enjoy your dinner, and the program again will start promptly at 7.
5, 4, 3, 2, you can hear me. Welcome again to the 2023 Annual Awards Celebration. My name is Kathy Michaelby, and I'm going to be your host tonight. I'm a member as well. We're going to be hearing from all 5 finalists, and I'm going to say something that's hard for me to say, but because Impact100 has had an impact on my life, I will say that my husband died about a month ago. It was hard, it was an ugly cancer, but I made a commitment, like you should, to tomorrow. And I worked with Carla, and I thought about it, and I thought, I'm going to go to the Impact100 Awards. And I am going to be an established organization that I am, and I am going to put one foot in front of the other, like your finalists tonight, who want to make a difference in this world that we all live in. It's all our orbit. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you. That being said, there's nothing more fun, even in my situation, to hear that wall of getting together that you hear as people walk in this room. They see people they haven't seen for a while. They say they're going to see them soon again, but it's a great whirring sound that happens in here. And I also think that one of the coolest things you're going to see flashing on the screen over and over again is that Wendy Steele is coming here in September. These are all the W's I'm going to take care of tonight. And how cool. She's the woman who started this whole organization, and what has become something that you have all become a part of, which is super, and it's making a difference. And then there's a whirly ball place across the way. And if there's anything I think a whirly ball provides, it would be impact. So why don't we just all go over there after this and kick each other's whatevers with the whirly ball? Maybe next year. Right. So just going back to the program, and I'm a little off schedule here, but Impact members, as Piper mentioned, you did get an email today that was going to give you the information that you need to vote today. And so look at that email. It's late this afternoon, and so you cannot say, oops, I didn't get the email. They're hoping that you got the email. Check your programs, but it's really important to acknowledge our sponsors tonight. The sustaining sponsors of Elm Grove Travel, 11, supporting sponsors of UBS, the Burnish Group, Magic, they do Magic, the 2022-23 sponsors of Boucher Automotive, Ellen Becker, Investment Group, Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, Strategic Wealth Partners, J.P. Morgan Private Bank, Mark Broughton Incorporated, Red Circle Inn, Geronimo Group, Studio Gear, and 11 just for good measure. And again, Impact Table sponsors Baker Tilly, Carla Cummings, and Julie Gilpin. Nice work. But first and foremost, we want to acknowledge our transformational sponsor. They've been in the game since the start. This is the Johnson Financial Group, and we're lucky enough to have Ann Tidmore come up here and say a few words about Impact and why they're so involved. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you for sharing your story with us and for being here tonight. It's always so wonderful to have you here. So good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep this very brief. I'm here on behalf of Johnson Financial Group. We're extremely proud to be the transformational sponsor for Impact 100 2023. Thank you to all the other sponsors. It's a group effort. We, as a community, come together, make this happen, and have this absolutely wonderful night. Congratulations to all of the finalists. I love the notion that everyone is a winner tonight. It's such an exciting event, and I'm always so happy to be here. So enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
Okay, now we're going to have a lovely dinner, and we'll be back with the rest of the program in just a moment. Excellent. One more thanks to the Johnson Financial Group for being a transformational sponsor of Impact 100 for 8 years. There are many women in this room who have been with Impact for 8 years, and so let's give the Impact people from 8 years ago a big hand. And from 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and all of the guests here tonight, who we certainly hope, table 31, who knows how many other tables, shout them out, I'll mention them, join. It's really got some power, and it really is a very, it's a room full of people who really give a rip, I'll say, and so it's nice to spend time with people like that. Now, the person who's probably spent the most time with Impact 100 and has a lot of stories to tell tonight, but she'll keep it, under control, right, Stacy? Stacy Sheffer took on the job as the president of Impact, and she hasn't skipped a beat. So she also had a few other things happen in her life along the way that she might mention. So let's give a big round of applause to Stacy.
Thanks, Kathy, and thank you for emceeing this event. Now, the months leading up to tonight have been filled with hard work and alignment. The team often compares it to having a baby. Now, I just had my second baby in January, and let me tell you, setting up this event was much harder than baby number 2. We spend a tremendous amount of time and effort to get everything ready for this one special night. I sat in a room like this in 2016, and I remember thinking, this is something special, but I don't really get it. Let's talk about how Impact 100 works and why I joined after my first annual awards celebration. We are a collective giving organization. Now, what does that mean? It means instead of $50 to the Red Cross, $100 to support a diabetes walk, and Sarah McLachlan commercial comes on, and in the arms of an angel, there goes $50 more. Our members are pooling their dollars together to make a bigger impact. We invite our nonprofits to think about what your organization needs to do to invest in transformational and sustainable projects. Offer something you never thought you could. Expand, create, transform. If you received $100,000 for one project or initiative that would truly impact our local community, what would you do? That's what these 5 finalists are here to tell us tonight. Now, how did we get to these 5? This is why I love Impact 100. We are an all-volunteer organization. We had 90 women raise their hands to come together and vet over 50 project proposals that met our eligibility criteria. We spread those out amongst 5 grant committees. We have discussions, we run through financials, we go meet these organizations, and ultimately end up with these 5 here tonight. Where are the finalists? Stand up. Let's give them a round of applause. This is your night. You 5 are joining over 30 nonprofits in the Impact 100 family. And let me tell you, this is a super loving family. Okay, so we pool our money and we give away $100,000 grants. Now, how do we know how much we can give? Here's where our members come in. For every 100 women that join, we can give away a $100,000 grant. This is the power of collective giving. We collect $1,100 in membership dues from May to December. $1,000 goes directly to funding grants. $100 funds our operating expenses. This membership number as of December 31st tells us how much money we can give at next year's annual awards celebration. As of December 31st, 2022, we had 388 members. That means we'll give away $388,000 tonight. Membership is open now for the 2024 vote. The deadline to join or renew for next year's annual awards celebration is December 31st. You can go to our website at any time, even on your phone tonight, and join or renew. We even have a special gift for the first 100 that join or renew. Now let's bring it all home. We gather our membership to tell us how much we can grant. We ask the community, what would you do with $100,000? We vet those projects and select 5 finalists, and then we get to tonight. Now, I'm warning you, you will fall in love with at least one of these finalists. At least one will connect with you, tug at your heartstrings, introduce you to a new challenge in our community. It will happen. You will walk away saying, what else can I do for my finalist here? Here are 2 things I want everyone to do for their one or more finalist. Post about tonight on social media. Snap a pic of you attending, your meal, the room, our grantees holding the check, a selfie with a grantee that you met tonight, and post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Here are their handles. Promoting them multiplies the impact of tonight. Also be sure to tag Impact100, MKE. Now, if what I said just confused you, go ahead and make a new connection at your table to learn more. The second thing you can do for these finalists is go to your favorite finalist's website, find an event, volunteer, donate, connect with them. Don't let tonight be the end of the conversation. We have found that the exposure from tonight's event, the connections with our networks, the rigorous grant process has opened other grant opportunities, found new board members, and formed new nonprofit connections for our grant recipients. In this way, all 5 finalists will walk away winners. Just as the 5 finalists joined our family tonight, you, as potential members, sponsors, and supporters of our organization, are now part of the Impact 100 family. Connect with us. Follow, like, tag, join or renew to be a part of our 2024 vote. The more members we have, the more impact we can make. Let's watch a video produced by videographer Brianna Taylor from Teens Grow Greens, a former Impact 100 grant recipient.
Proof, I do repeat an outfit. People used to say, you're on television, do you have like thousands of outfits? I'd say, no, I repeat an outfit, and they wouldn't believe it, but I repeated an outfit. Brianna. She's on her way. From Teens Grow Greens to putting together this remarkable video tonight. I've had the pleasure of sitting next to Brianna. She deserves a giant hand of applause for it. And you guys should just give yourselves a big round of applause for being a part of this organization. And, I mean, it's an amazing operation. It takes some volunteers and it takes some real dedication, and I'm hoping that I see Beth Coomer, yes I do, in my orbit right now, because she's here to tell us more about how this gets done while we all sit and enjoy a nice meal and maybe repeat an outfit.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kathy. I am Beth Coomer, one of the grant co-directors, and I just want to echo what Kathy said about Brianna's video. It was fantastic, and I know she's going to be walking around talking to more of us tonight, so please make sure you talk to Brianna if she has any questions for you, and show your excitement about tonight. It's a great evening for us. Our Impact 100 membership has funded over 30 nonprofits in 8 years, and as Stacy said earlier, we'll add 5 more organizations to our Impact 100 family tonight. Before our finalists share their stories on how our grant money will transform their organizations, please allow me to thank some very important Impact 100 members. We are an all-volunteer organization and have many different roles supporting our grant process. It is truly a collective effort to get to this point tonight. First and foremost, I want to thank Ann Shoemaker, my incredible grant co-director. And on behalf of both of us, we would like to thank the women who volunteered to review and select our 5 grant finalists on grant committees for their dedication and commitment. We'd like to thank Jamie Malatesta, Grant Management Chair, for all of the historical experience she brings to the team with the coordination of our project proposal sourcing and finalist preparation behind the scenes. Another big thank you to Ann Homestead for partnering with Jamie this season to organize and pilot additional resources for our nonprofit applicants to ask questions and gain feedback from us. Jill Boyle, our financial review chair, helped recruit financial committee members who review grant financial statements to verify each applicant's financial health. This is part of our due diligence to ensure we are selecting organizations that will thrive with our grant funding. So thank you to Jill and her team of number wizards. A huge thank you also goes to Nancy Smith, our grant platform chair. She's finishing up a 2-year assignment owning our grant platform Foundant, which is used to source project proposals and distribute those to the grant committees. She brings an incredible amount of detail and nonprofit expertise that will be sorely missed by our team. Next, you'll hear from each of our 5 grant chairs, the leaders of our grant committees. They spent many hours preparing for committee meetings with impartiality and professionalism. Thank you to our fabulous grant chairs and a hearty thank you to all of our committee members. These nearly 90 members met in person and on Zoom with their committees throughout the grant process. They came from all different backgrounds and perspectives to provide rich discussion. We started with over 50 grant applicants from the greater Milwaukee area, and they were all deserving of a $100,000 grant. And tonight, through thoughtful evaluations and meaningful dialogue, we're here with 5 worthy finalists who will now forever be part of the Impact 100 family. We encourage all members to serve on a grant committee again next winter. There is nothing like collaborating with a team of women and learning about the work of nonprofits in our area. So now I'd like to ask all of the grant team members, including committee members, to please stand for a round of applause. These women standing and now sitting are responsible for bringing 5 nonprofits and their projects to the finalist level. So let's get to why we are all here tonight. You will now hear from our 5 finalists. They have already gone through a selection process to randomly determine the order in which they will present. We will ask each grant chair to introduce their finalist before they come to the podium. After all 5 presentations, it will then be time to vote. And with that, I'd like to introduce Chris Anderson as our first grant committee chair.
Thank you so much, Beth, for the introduction, and welcome this evening. It's my pleasure to introduce to you first myself, Chris Anderson. I had the opportunity this year for the 2nd year to chair the Family Committee, and I want to take an opportunity to thank the members of the Family Committee. We got to meet in person for the first time in a little while, and then also through Zoom. And we learned so much about the various organizations that had the opportunity to ask for some of the grant money, and it was very enlightening. The needs in the community are deep, and it was impressive with the proposals put forward. Introducing to you next for the first candidate is VIA CDC. Founded back in 1995 by the School Sisters of St. Francis, they work hard on their mission to create a community that can live in Milwaukee and drive growth in Milwaukee. So I'd like to bring up our first candidate here, Joanna Bouch, and she's going to share with you the story and the mission of the opportunity of VIA CDC.
Looking at the clock. Thank you so much. Do you remember buying your first home? All of the planning and saving you did to get to the moment where you turn the key and walk through your front door as a first-time homebuyer. They say buying a home is likely the largest purchase you will make during your lifetime. Unfortunately, the opportunity to become a homeowner is out of reach for many of the neighbors in my community. In the last 10 years, the average residential home sale in the Silver City, Layton Park, and Burnham Park neighborhoods has increased by 274%. These are the neighborhoods that VIA CDC serves. Our mission is to be a partner in building strong, healthy neighborhoods where all of us can thrive. Our focus areas are community outreach, economic development, housing outreach, and affordable real estate development. Studies show us that homeownership improves the overall quality of life for families, leads to increased graduation rates, and reduces crime. That is why at VIA, we believe affordable, safe, and healthy housing is the foundation for strengthening our neighborhoods. So what is affordable housing? Affordable housing is when the cost of your home is no more than 30% of your family's household income. So a teacher, for example, making anywhere between $16 and $24 an hour can afford a rental property of $1,250 a month or a $100,000 home. At VIA, our goal is to create just that, single-family homes for $100,000. VIA made a commitment to affordable housing development in 2008 when we launched our turnkey renovation program. Through the turnkey program, we combine our borrowing capacity with public subsidies, philanthropic support, and community partnerships to purchase foreclosed and dilapidated homes and fully rehab these properties. We got these homes down to the studs and then build them back up, transforming them into affordable, safe, and healthy Milwaukee homes for income-qualified families. By the end of 2023, we will have fully rehabbed 33 homes. Despite the great success of this program, we are facing new challenges. First, the list of foreclosed properties is getting shorter and shorter as outside competitors vie for these same properties. And second, our rehabbed homes' average sale price is $130,000, which is still out of reach for some of our neighbors. Meanwhile, we have not answered the call for accessible and affordable homeownership for all those in need. That is why VIA is turning to new construction. We may be running out of foreclosed properties in Milwaukee, but the list of vacant lots is pretty endless. We have been working with the Lang Brothers Woodworking Company, a Milwaukee-based company that has been around for nearly 100 years, to design an 1,100 square foot starter home using a prefabricated framing system, which will reduce construction costs, speed up the construction timeline, and reduce our environmental footprint by using recycled materials with minimal material waste. We also partnered with an energy consultant to ensure a design for a net zero energy ready home that will reduce utility costs for the homeowner. This design will be the first of its kind in the United States. The system has been used successfully in the Netherlands, and we are excited to bring the model home to Milwaukee and Wisconsin. We plan to kick off our new construction this summer. Our goal is to develop 2 of these homes and use them as models, one in Milwaukee's near north side and one in the near south side. Our goal of showing the models is to inspire other organizations, developers, and investors in the state and other states to replicate these homes in their own communities. After the model period, we will sell the homes for $100,000. When the homes are sold, the purchase price will be reinvested into the development of future homes. With the support of Impact100's $100,000, we can turn the key again and again to ensure sustainability of developing these homes now and in the future. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pam Klein, and I am the chair of the Health and Wellness Grant Committee. I joined Impact100 because I was inspired by its mission to ignite transformational change in our nonprofit community. At that time, little did I imagine how I would be transformed by my involvement in this organization. I am very grateful to each of my committee's 17 members for their thoughtful work, their probing questions, and hours of volunteer service selecting our committee's finalists. We did have a great time, and my sincere thanks to each of you who've served on my committee. Now, I would like to introduce our committee's 2023 finalist, The Gathering. Based in Milwaukee for more than 40 years, I thought that I knew about The Gathering, but they are doing so much more than I imagined. With a goal to alleviate hunger and food insecurity in our poorest neighborhoods, The Gathering has become an aggregator of healthy and nutritious foods and a distribution hub for food and meal services to a growing number of local nonprofits. With their Store More, Serve More project, to expand their infrastructure, and to enlarge their storage spaces, the gathering could accept more than 2,000 pounds of donated food per week and provide up to 48,000 additional meals per year with a $100,000 grant. Wow. Well, to tell you more about this project, it's my pleasure to introduce Lynn Hildebrand, the Executive Director of the Gathering.
Thank you very much. Good evening. 150,000. 150,001. 150,000 represents the number of people in Milwaukee who go hungry. That's 16.4% of our population who struggle with food insecurity, living in food deserts with little or no access to healthy food. 150,000 is a number, a big number, but let's face it, it's just a number. Yeah, we'll read about it in the newspaper or hear an expert cite it in a panel discussion. And yeah, when we write grants, we use numbers because grantors love numbers. With surprising ease, 150,000 can go in one ear and out the other. But we will remember the and one. Because and one is Jimmy, a man who has lived on the streets most of his adult life, struggling with mental illness or substance abuse, or possibly both. Jimmy spends his days wandering, not knowing why he's here or where his next meal is coming from. The and one is also Maria, a single mother of 3 who cleans other people's homes so she can afford a home for her family. But so many days Maria comes home dog-tired, beat up by the world, worrying about the increase in rent and the price of food. And so, it's peanut butter and jelly again, night after night. When food becomes a constant worry and your children go hungry, there's no way up. There's no way out. When your brain is foggy because you haven't had proper nutrition, it's hard to have hope. In her diary, Anne Frank wrote this about hunger. Hunger's not a problem. Hunger is an obscenity. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a moment longer before starting to improve the world. The gathering has started to improve the world, united by one common goal, to feed the hungry in mind, body, and spirit. At the various locations we serve and deliver to, Jimmy and Maria and her children can enjoy one of the 60,000 home-cooked meals prepared by our cooks 6 days a week, 51 weeks a year. These hot meals are served by our loving staff and volunteers, and they're free of charge. And every and one is treated like a guest in our home. Every weekday, the Gathering at Running Rebels serves over 100 hot meals. The Gathering at Ascension provides 200 fresh meals 3 days a week. And for Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, our guests enjoy a holiday meal, complete with all the trimmings, even a slice of pie. For over 40 years, the Gathering has been there, and we will continue to be there. But now we're being asked to do more. For you see, the and one is also Yvonne, a bright 10-year-old who has come to Sojourner Family Peace Center with her mother escaping domestic violence. But since the pandemic, Sojourner is struggling to provide hot food to their guests. Food that we take for granted, meat and potatoes, vegetables. And Sojourner is certainly not alone. Places like the Benedict Center, Running Rebels, the Cathedral Center, and Mindful Childcare, all providing services to folks in need, have come to the Gathering asking for help. Who else can serve the hungry and provide hot meals on a regular basis? The Gathering can. But at this moment, we're struggling. We have the food, we have the cooks, we have the driver, we even have a good, great, supportive board, and even more organizations are asking for our help, but we just don't have the capacity to help them. And that is why we're here tonight asking you, Impact 100, for 100,001. So we can buy that walk-in refrigerator and that walk-in cooler and pay for extra storage space. I know, not very sexy, and yet these appliances and additional space are key to continuing to serve Yvonne and Jimmy and Maria and all of the other and ones that I've come to know and love. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Julie Barris, and I am honored to be one of the Impact 100 Grant Committee chairs. I had the pleasure of working with an energetic, thoughtful, and inquisitive group of women, some veterans, some newer members of Impact 100, but all willing to give of their time and energy to choose a finalist for this evening. We were the one committee that held our meetings hybrid, about 2/3 of us in person and 1/3 on Zoom. It worked out very well, and hopefully in the future this will continue and be a model to engage even more members in the grant review process. I was blessed with willing volunteers. Thank you to my committee very much. It's my pleasure now to introduce Islands of Brilliance and their project, the Brilliance Studio, Creative Hub for Autistic Youth. Islands of Brilliance has pioneered the use of digital creative technologies to reach autistic children and young adults through one-on-one mentorship, both virtual and in person. The Brilliance Studio will provide a flexible, state-of-the-art space where students can connect with their mentors, parents and families have a space to gather for support, and the IOB staff can work with young people to build confidence, connectivity, and community. Please welcome the co-founders of Islands of Brilliance, Mark Fairbanks, Executive Director, and Margaret Fairbanks, Chief Education Officer, to tell you more.
Mark and I sat together in the neurologist's office, steeling ourselves for the news we would soon hear about our then 3-year-old son, Harry. Diagnosis? PDD and OS, pervasive developmental delay not otherwise specified. In short, Harry was on the autism spectrum. But the diagnosis didn't stop there. It soon became a prognosis. They said he wouldn't be ready for first grade. Oh, and don't plan on college. Literally, lower your expectations. He was 3. We were heartbroken, we were scared, and we were lost.
Me, being Sicilian, I was also a little bit angry. How could they say that about a 3-year-old? I looked at them and said, he will be ready for first grade, and Harry will determine what he is capable of.
We went to work. So SPIN, short for special interest, is that one passion that many autistic individuals have, that thing they just love. It could be Pokemon, Star Wars, you name it. Well, that SPIN is often the conduit and the connection for communication and often for learning. So Harry's SPIN was, is, and always will be trains. So we learned that if we made any learning about trains, Thomas the Tank Engine, he would engage longer and retain that information. He did attend first grade with his peers and with minimal support.
By age 9, Harry showed a keen interest in technology. One afternoon, he watched me as I was working on a design project using Adobe Illustrator. Hey, Dad, can I try that? So I gave him 5 minutes of instruction and permission to explore. 30 minutes later, he had faithfully recreated Percy, the character from Thomas the Tank Engine. I was dumbfounded because he had intuitively figured out tools I hadn't taught him yet. So I gave him more instruction, and soon I would find him working independently on my computer, creating funny little comics of his own original train characters.
So Mark came to me with an idea. He said, what if we pair autistic students one-to-one with a design mentor and use their SPIN as the basis for a design project? I was finishing my master's in special education, so I provided the expertise needed to make this idea work.
Our thought was, if it worked for one, Could it work for many? And Islands of Brilliance was born. In 2012, without raising a dime, through the use of an in-kind computer lab at Discovery World, we launched a pilot project with 7 students. By 2014, we moved into a studio space in the 3rd Ward. We downsized our lifestyles and left our full-time jobs in 2015. And by 2019, we had grown the program into multiple offerings with 533 annual enrollments, serving autistic individuals as young as age 8 into their late 20s.
And we all know what happened in March of 2020. We had to give up our studio space during the pandemic, and just to stay afloat, we had to sell off the equipment and the furniture, but we stayed positive. We quickly pivoted all of our programming to virtual within a month, and by offering new daily programming, actually increased our enrollments 350 from 3,500 within a year.
By 2022, we were able to return to in-person programming, and we took up temporary residence at UWM's Lubar Entrepreneurship Center. This relationship led to funding from the National Endowment for the Arts to establish a research lab at UWM to study our use of mentorship and creative technologies in the development of autistic youth.
Autism is not going away. 2% of the population is now identified as autistic. And 83% of young autistic adults are unemployed. 83%. Our mission at Islands of Brilliance is about changing perceptions of those with autism from disabilities to persons with capabilities, because we are determined to change that unemployment rate.
The confidence gained at Islands has led to student success stories, including passing a driver's test, earning a college degree, getting a first job. We're happy to say that we're about to sign a lease for a new studio space. And a generous $100,000 grant would go towards purchasing new technology, new equipment, and new furniture to create the Brilliant Studio, a state-of-the-art space for families in the Milwaukee communities, as well as allowing us to share our model to replicate across the state, throughout the country, and eventually the world.
And Harry's here. Harry, please stand up. Graduated from college.
Thank you.
Good evening, Impact 100 members, finalists, and guests. I am Bonnie Tesh, one of the committee chairs. This year we had a very engaged committee, and I want to thank each of our members, but especially Robin Martin, our very capable financial review chair, and Marion Singer and Bridget Rourke, our site visit coordinators. It has been wonderful on our committee to watch women from many different professions, some with very strong opinions, working together to come to agreement about the best finalist. But this year, after our site visits, there was very little disagreement about who our finalists should be. Silver Spring Neighborhood Center is the only community center serving Milwaukee's Northwest Side. They work together to improve both the mental health and the physical health of their participants. And so their Roads to Success program has 2 components, a STEM lab and a fitness center. And here to tell you more about their project is Devin Hudson, the executive director, and Yahara Maldonado, the development director.
Good evening. Service and support. Service is the act of helping someone. Support is bearing all or part of the weight to uphold and assist. These 2 words best describe the work that we do at the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center. Each year, over 6,000 families and individuals living on Milwaukee's Northwest Side count on our early childhood education, health and wellness services, youth social development, and workforce development programming. By offering these holistic foundational services to our community, it is a critical piece of our programming because we serve a population where single mothers lead 51% of the households and 25% are unemployed. And people living in our 53218 zip code area are 520% more likely to experience a violent crime than our neighboring 53217 zip code. While these statistics are startling, there are many bright spots of hope and success that exist. For example, 94% of our students have improved their school attendance, and last year, more than 108 people in our workforce development program landed full-time jobs with family-sustaining wages. But our work doesn't stop there. We know that in order for our participants to achieve self-sufficiency, equitable access, and compete in this ever-changing society, the services we provide must also grow and change. Comedian and actor Milton Berle, yes, Milton Berle, I'm aging myself, said it best: if opportunity doesn't come knocking, build a door. This door is our Roads to Success project, which offers an opportunity for our community participants to develop skills, explore career prospects through technology, and manage their health and well-being. But I'm going to let Yahira tell you more about our project.
Thank you, Devin. There are two components, as mentioned, to our Road to Success project. First, there's a STEM lab, and second, there's a fitness center. Now, if you're curious how the STEM lab and a fitness center work together, you are not alone. However, there is a vital connection. The combination of these two spaces will provide physical and mental health that is critical to creating a strong mind and a strong bodies. The residents need in order to prepare to tackle the challenges of today and the future. Your generous $100,000 grant would allow us to build two transformative, life-changing spaces. First, we start with the STEM lab. It will provide children and adults access to programs and resources in science, technology, robotics, engineering, along with mathematics, all which help the advancement in education, career development, and equitable employment. We believe that every child deserves the opportunity to learn and grow in STEM regardless of their background or circumstances. Our lab will provide a safe and nurturing space for children aged 6 and up to explore STEM via creative hands-on experiments. We'll be using things like Kiwi Co-Kits, the Lego League, and our existing relationship with MSOE to deliver real scientific principles in a fun, hands-on way. The new lab will help to inspire, educate the next generation of innovators and problem solvers as we give them tools they need to succeed in the future. And now to our fitness center. Our fitness center is anything but fit. Everything is currently unsafe, and it poses a safety risk. I kid you not. It's literally being held together by duct tape. Despite this, we do have one very dedicated member, and he comes in weekly. I quite often wonder why, so I asked, and he just clearly stated it's all that he can afford. Our food pantry serves 3,500 individuals annually, so when you think about this, a $10 membership to a fitness center is just not in reach. And it's for this reason that we're committed to providing this space and our STEM lab free of charge to promote physical health and wellness. With your support, we can update this facility, provide new equipment, and offer dedicated fitness classes to individuals of all ages. We believe that physical health and mental health are interdependent, and by combining them, we can help our community thrive. We can't wait for you guys to join us on this next exciting journey towards a safer, stronger, brighter future at the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I can't see because it's so blind, but somewhere out there is Kathy Michaelby. I know I'm going off script. Kathy, I want to thank you for being here tonight and understanding the power of the collective. You are a great member, and we're so grateful that you're here today. And also, your pants rock. So. Good evening. My name is Amy Berry. I had the honor of being a chairman this year of the Education Committee. It has truly been an honor to be a part of this process and working with these incredible women. Again, I can't see, but I think they're sitting somewhere over here. I have a whole new group of friends, and I'm really, really grateful for the thoughtful and objective work that they did to reach our finalist decision. Tonight, on behalf of our committee, I am thrilled and honored to introduce to you the Grand Avenue Club as our finalists this evening. Grand Avenue Club is a membership community that helps adults experiencing mental illness to achieve recovery, inclusion, and self-reliance. They are seeking our support in a significant reconfiguration of their culinary unit, the part of their club that is the heart. It's where everybody meets to share a meal, share an experience, and to help each other and encourage each other. It is also a place where members learn to vocational training and how to reach out to their community. The Grand Avenue Club embodies the true spirit of Impact 100, the power of collective giving for an impact on positive change. I would like to introduce to you Wanda Jenkins and Philip Connolly from the Grand Avenue Club. Thank you.
A serious mental illness can rob you of many things. It can rob you of your home. It can rob you of your family or community support. And I've learned over the years that it can rob you of a sense of purpose, which often comes from working. 85% of people with severe mental illness are unemployed. At the Grand Avenue Club, we are changing that statistic. We are a community that works. We are a successful non-clinical center providing pre-vocational training and paid employment opportunities to anyone experiencing mental illness in Milwaukee County. The key here is non-clinical. Everywhere our members go on their mental health journey, it's all about their illness. At the Grand Avenue Club, or as we informally call it, the GAC, we focus on what they can do. We offer programming to help our members discover their strengths and talents. Critical to their recovery is a place that makes them feel at home and provides them with the companionship and sustenance to keep them going during difficult times. No matter how cramped and broken down it is, that place is our culinary unit. At GAC, the culinary unit is the heart of our club. Everyone who walks through our doors congregates there. We also have programs which teach members how to shop, prepare and cook healthy food, and gain the cooking experience they need to obtain employment. But our kitchen space prevents us from expanding to accept even more members. It also prevents us from increasing employment opportunities. If you've seen an episode on HGTV where they take a really ugly, cramped kitchen and transform it into an inviting open concept, then you have a pretty good idea what our space looks like and what your $100,000 can do to take us from oh no to oh yeah. Right now, our kitchen layout restricts people with physical or mobility limitations. Small spaces can also trigger past trauma. Opening up our kitchen and dining space would eliminate these barriers. Your $100,000 grant would allow us to triple our capacity. We would increase the output of our homemade meals for others and further expand our culinary education so that even more members can be ready for employment. But instead of giving you my perspective, I'd like to introduce one of our members, Wanda, to give you her perspective.
Thank you, Phil. So not only are we breaking down those barriers of mental illness, but we're also teaching all our members food service skills. We're teaching them to take care of their children and provide healthy food. But what are we here for? Well, number one is we need to break down that barriers in the kitchen as well. We need to provide kitchen area for cooking food, for also training people to learn how to safe serve the food, as well as letting everyone in the building learn about safe service food. We're also teaching everyone to learn how to buy the food, Read the labels. What's important here today is that we want to knock down those barriers about mental illness to show that we're people too, to show that we're consumers too, and to show that the Grand Avenue Club stand for works, getting people out there back in the community to learn how to work for their family and to work for the community as well. Thank you.
Now the hard part begins. Are we ready to vote? Okay. Members, please pull up the most recent email or the earlier email that you got today, and you're going to find that on your phones, most likely, unless you brought in a computer or something. It's pretty easy. You get to see all 5 of the finalists. You can pull that email up, and then you can see how you can just pull those names into the position that you would like to put them on your ballot. The easiest way is to probably use that reminder email that was sent to you this afternoon from OPA Vote. You have 7 minutes now to cast your ballot, and then I'll be back to let you know what happens next. So please keep an eye on the countdown clock. Make sure your vote is in before the time expires. I would like to invite you all, while you're voting, to enjoy a little music while the suspense begins. You have run out of time. I want to thank my table number 1 over here to the side. We've had a wonderful conversation as well as listening to the remarkable presentations tonight, everything from snakes to wearing a dress her sister lent her 10 years ago. She's never returned, to the love of grandparents. We really covered a lot of bases at table number 1. And as I can see around the room, as I see hugs and listen to people, chat about how they haven't seen each other in too long a time, I think that that's one of the wonders of Impact 100. You get to meet new people, you get to see old friends, and you get to make a difference at the same time. I met a young woman during the course of my time at my table. Her name is Brianna. I think she's in the room somewhere. Brianna, where are you? Yeah. And Brianna is going to share some thoughts on how Impact has had a huge impact on her life and how it can continue to have that. So if Brianna will work her way up to the stage, I believe she's wearing her really adorable shoes tonight. We were talking about shoes too, because you got to have a comfortable pair and the ones that you can go on stage with. But she's wearing the comfortable ones. I love that, Brianna. That's so cute. Thank you so much. Oh, wonderful.
Lights are bright. Okay, so my name is Brianna Taylor. Thank you all. So in 2021, Teens Grow Greens won a $100,000 grant. And because of that grant, I'm able to be here today. With that grant, Teens Grow Greens started 2 new apprenticeships, and all of our apprenticeships were able to go from $15 an hour to $18 an hour for 3rd-year marketing apprenticeships. So the marketing apprenticeship was made, and that's where I found the power of storytelling. So because of marketing apprenticeship, all of you guys are able to see my work for the first time, and it's Thank you so much. It's really emotional for me, honestly. Since the first annual award ceremony I attended, I've seen Milwaukee differently. As a young Black woman, I've never seen spaces like this. I never knew they existed. And every single woman I've met has offered me a seat next to them and resources, and those acts of kindness I can never, ever forget. And I would like to talk about the Hone Bridge briefly. So if some of you know, if you follow on social media, last night the bridge was purple for all of your work. Impact 100 has raised $2.8 million, and that's gone to Milwaukee. Impact 100 has changed the lives of so many nonprofits and mine as well. And it's just amazing what you guys have done, and I inspire to be just like every single woman in this room. So if you're able to share on social media, I know it might be confusing and it's not something we all know, but Milwaukee deserves to know what work you guys are doing. Milwaukee needs to know, and young people as well. We might not be able to donate that 1,000 yet, but to know and see this is so inspirational. And I can say, coming from a young woman, it's life-changing. And I would also like to say to you nonprofits here and projects here, thank you so much. This is your night. Impact 100 is shining the light on the work that you are all doing. And it doesn't matter what grant you leave here with, you're leaving with resources and more people behind you. So I would like if we could all, if you do post on social media, there's a thing called a hashtag, and we're using we're using hashtag Impact100MKE. So whether you are the nonprofit or projects here, if we use that hashtag, we're creating a space to show all the amazing work we're all doing, from the members to the projects to the nonprofits to the board members. Thank you all so much, and have a great day.
Brianna, don't leave. Brianna. Okay. All right, I want to say that what a talented young woman. And she told me that she's turning 20 this month. So I want this room to sing as loudly as they can, Happy Birthday to Brianna. Do we know that song? Happy birthday. What an amazing young woman. This is the moment that we have been waiting for, and I have to kind of get a sign from somewhere that we might be anywhere near tabulating all the votes. Or we'll sing again. Let's see, what would be a good one? All right, I'll work on that. Impact 100 uses a voting method which requires members to rank all 5 finalists in preferred order. I think that OPA vote does a great job of helping us work our way through that. We don't even need to know what a hashtag is for that. Isn't that amazing? Point values are assigned for each position on the ballot, and then there are some marvelous people, a team of people, who are able to put this all together and come up with what our results are before the night is up. Which, it could take, 10 minutes. We could take, 4 hours. We could run over to the whirly ball place, come back and find out. But I think our team is going to do it. Our results team is reviewing the ballots. They already reviewed ballots that were tabulated online during the course of the day. That team included an impartial non-member. We got to get her on the stick, don't you think? We need to find a new non-member, but she is from the accounting firm of CLA, as well as a governance director, Kathy Schluter. You're busy, Kathy? Kathy still busy? Oh, they're working on it. All right, I can hear it. The ballots included those cast tonight and some absentee ballots cast earlier by members who were not able to join tonight. Only the results team knows the final vote totals, and those results remain confidential. It's kind of like American Idol. You never really get to know, do you? You just don't get to know. But this is a very good voting system. Based on members' ranked ballots, 3 finalists will be awarded $100,000 grants, and 2 finalists will receive $44,000 merit grants. In total, that adds up to, we saw the numbers around the room, $388,000, which represents a generous investment of $1,000 from each and every one in this room and people who could not attend for this year's 388 Impact 100 members. That's pretty impressive. Let's give ourselves a hand for that. We emphasize that the $100,000 grant awards will be announced in no particular order, so don't think that you know what's going on until we let you know. In other words, the first $100,000 recipient announced is not necessarily the organization with the most favorable ranking. And I think that's a really fair way of doing this, and it's hard. This is a hard thing. First of all, I want to say to all the presenters tonight, you all did a spectacular job. It was wonderful that you stayed within your 5-minute time. I cannot imagine how many times you had to practice that, especially, you know, the two people talking at the same time. That's not easy. I used to get more time than my co-anchors, I believe. But they're not here for me to admit that, so that's really only among my Impact 100 friends. So that what happens in this room stays in this room. How about that? I wonder if there, what's that? You're ready? Wow. Way to go. So, while I'd love to announce the winners, that is not my wonderful job tonight. I'm going to stand aside and we are going to hear from our wonderful co-members of Impact 100.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ann Shoemaker, one of the co-directors, and I have the great pleasure of announcing our first $100,000 grant recipient. It is via CDC.
And our second 100,000. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Via, come on up.
Thank you so much. Woo!
Our second $100,000 grant goes to Islands of Brilliance.
Right. Quick before we go, I'd just like to say thank you to all who participated in giving us this illustrious little check here. And personally, I'd just like to say, we're in the money, we're in the money.
evening. My name is Maureen Kenfield, and I am the Impact 100 Events Director. I'm honored to present the third $100,000 grant this evening to The Gathering.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
And now we can give our 2 Merit Award winners. Welcome to the Impact 100 family at Silver Spring Neighborhood and Grand Avenue Club. Here come your checks. Come on and stand up and we'll come take a photo. Congratulations to all 5 finalists tonight. It was really great to hear from all of you, and we look forward to all the social media posts that should be flooding through Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It's now my honor to introduce our new incoming president. She's been with the organization from the beginning, and I am tremendously excited for everything that she will bring. So it's with pleasure that I introduce Julie Gilpin to the stage and pass the gavel.
Thank you, Stacy. Now I'm armed, right? Ladies and gentlemen, as I stand before you to close our time together, I find myself in what I believe is a very challenging and most exciting spot, the sweet spot, if you will. Challenging because I'm following some very tough acts. The first tough act I follow is our outgoing president, Stacy, who brought her calm, professional, youthful, rational, hardworking, hands-on, tech-savvy self to the presidency, and she has truly led us to a new level. I tip my hat to you in awe and gratitude. The second tough act I follow is the group of founders and past leaders. I'm following in the footsteps of these visionary and accomplished women who led Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee from a conversation around a kitchen table to an organization that has now given almost $3 million to the community in just 8 years. The third tough act I follow are the moving and inspiring presentations from all of our finalists tonight. These finalists were thoughtfully selected, as you heard, by our hardworking and very passionate grant committee members. I am so grateful for the courage of our deserving finalists who stood before us today and shared their personal experiences, their hopes, and their dreams. And the final tough act I follow is all the women who have worked so hard to make tonight a success. our chairs, our directors, all the volunteers who have worked countless hours to make this special evening a success. Hats off to all these wonderful, tough acts I'm following. This sweet spot is a challenging one, but also an exciting one, as I now have the honor of serving and leading this organization as we head into year 9 and prepare to mark our 10th anniversary. Now, just like all of you, in my life outside this room, I wear many hats. My favorite one is mom to a 16, 13, and 5-year-old. Other hats I proudly wear are wife, sister, friend, HR person, community volunteer, school volunteer, and police commissioner. In Impact 100's inaugural year, I was invited to an informational session, and I was quickly drawn to the mission and called to the power of women giving collectively. But the weight of all the other hats I was wearing in my life made me wonder if I truly had time to participate. Now, at that informational meeting, I learned that an Impact 100 member can, if she chooses, simply pay a membership fee, put on a party hat, and attend this AAC and vote. And in the moment, that option appealed to me. Once I joined, I quickly realized that I wanted my involvement in Impact 100 to be more hands-on and more mission-based. So I traded in my party hat and put on a team hat and joined a grants committee. And I'm so glad that I did, because even after 20-some years of volunteering in Milwaukee, serving on that Impacts Grant Committee is one of the most profound and positive experiences I've had in my volunteer life. I then went on to wear a leadership hat, serving for several years on the Impact Board and on nominating committee and the member engagement task force. And now I find myself here in this challenging and exciting sweet spot. As the incoming board president, I am pleased to tell you that your 2023-24 leadership team is already hard at work. The first annual Impact 100 Leadership Summit was held last weekend on a sunny Saturday. With the help of consultant Terry Phillips, who is in the room with us tonight, almost 30 past, present, and up-and-coming leaders met to start thinking strategically about our organization. We celebrated our successes and strengths, and we got real about areas that need attention, review, and development. I'm pleased to tell you that the entire cost of this summit was paid by a generous anonymous donor who paid the consultant's fee and through in-kind donations from the law firm of Godfrey & Kahn. We know that our strategic planning work is not done. Your leadership team is committed to putting our goals onto paper, our steps into action, and ensuring that these strategic goals remain at the forefront of our decision making. We're committed to keep these actions and goals alive and to reevaluate our progress in December. Your board will meet virtually in July and start back in person in August. We welcome your ideas and suggestions, and we even welcome your complaints if you're willing to help us find a solution. Members, if you're curious about what's going on at the Impact 100 board table, we encourage you to attend a board meeting or contact us to ask questions. We want our members to be informed as they engage in the work and the mission of Impact 100. Members can expect to receive regular updates from me in addition to our usual form of communication. And of course, please continue to use our app and our website to stay in the know. And as you've heard over and over again, please follow us on social media. In addition to our local meetings, 2 members, Carla Cummings, our incoming president-elect, and Piper Plummer-Mahegan, our incoming membership director, will attend the Global Impact 100 Conference in Detroit later this month to network and learn best practices from other Impact 100 chapters. And as you've heard already tonight, we are thrilled to announce that Global Impact 100 Movement founder Wendy Steele has graciously accepted our invitation and will be our keynote speaker at our kickoff on September 13th at the Wisconsin Club. Please mark your calendars and come hear her inspiring story and vision. As I conclude, I have a challenge for everyone in the room. If you are affiliated with a qualifying nonprofit, please encourage them to throw their name in the hat and apply for a grant next year. If you are considering joining Impact 100 as a new member, please join and come hang your hat with us. If you're a current member, please renew your membership tonight or this week, or for sure by the December 31st deadline. And then start thinking about how you will engage in the mission and work of Impact 100 as a member. What hat will you choose to wear in Impact 100 this year and in the years to come? A party hat, a grants hat, a recruiting hat, a leadership hat. There are so many hats to try on. Remember, the more members we have on December 31st, 2023, the more money we can grant to nonprofits at this time next year. A really big group of talented, diverse, and passionate members engaged in the work of Impact 100 and fulfilling our mission by granting a big dollar amount to nonprofits. Now that's the sweet spot. I can't wait to see the continued success of this organization, and I can't wait to see the impact that our nonprofits and all the nonprofits we support will continue to make in our community. Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee members and friends, hold on to your hats. Here we go into year 9. Thank you all for being here tonight, and I look forward to seeing you in September.
Julie, wonderful work. We will follow the law, whatever you say. You're going to go into the $3 million realm next year, and that's pretty awesome as well. Big thanks to everyone who attended tonight's event. Congratulations to everyone. Everyone was a winner tonight, and it's going to help with all of the organizations. And I just love that we're in the money speech or little song at the end. That was really cute. One job you have tonight is to remove your name tag. You can do it as I'm speaking. Take that magnetic part out from the inside. Let's hear all those clicky clicks. Put that name tag with the magnet on your table so that we can collect all of those after you leave. That's fantastic. All right, I'm just going to say, once again, you guys have just wowed the night. It's another W for the night. We're talking about Wendy coming. We're talking about the Wall of Sound coming in here, and of course, Whirly Ball after tonight's event. Thanks for being in this orbit with all of us, because together we are making a difference. See you next time.